This is the biggest mistake I made when starting my fitness journey. I thought that all you needed to do was work out, but it turned out there's much more to it than that. They say abs are made in the kitchen, which is true. However, if your training isn't right, you're probably not gonna get them. I'm gonna tell you guys about all the mistakes I made, things I learned along the way, and how I've developed my training over time. But first, let's go back to 2017. So back in 2017, I was part of the swim team. I was part of the cross country team. And I was also part of the baseball team. So I knew a little something about conditioning and working out at least. However, I wasn't a big weightlifter. And also, since I was doing cross country, all I did was run and I didn't eat right. So I never ended up losing any weight. Needless to say, I've always been a fat kid, not knowing what to do in the gym. I decided to change that 2 years ago. After high school was over, I worked at Best Buy for a bit, ended up gaining a lot of weight. About a year later, that's when I found a gym membership to a little place called Planet Fitness. And that's when I started actually working out. And I ended up eating right. So I was pretty dedicated to my fitness journey back in 2019, 2020. And then something really funny happened called COVID-19. I turned 21 during COVID, and that's when I found alcohol. The combination of alcohol and eating my favorite fast food, Taco Bell, made me balloon up to 265. That brings me to my first mistake that I made, not training correctly, meaning I was doing incorrect form, not eating the right foods, just overall kind of like wasting my training. It also kind of leads me to my first what I learned, and that is how to train properly and how to train with correct form, which is what I'm doing right now. Going concentric, slow eccentric, back up again. I'm also gonna give a shout out to my trainer that I had. His name's Phil Sims. He's over at Crunch Fitness. He also goes by the name of Phil Shark. He's a semi-pro wrestler. He's gonna hate me for saying that because he thinks he's a pro. This dude Phil taught me everything that I need to know about working out, how to train properly, how to eat correctly. I really owe a bunch of my progress to him. Phil, if you see this, thank you. Now, another thing that I learned was to train smart. So that is what I'm doing right now. I am going for a run because, like I said in my previous videos, I kind of want to be a hybrid athlete who's able to run 10 miles and also lift weights pretty easily. With that being said, I'm going on this run and then I'll tell you about the next mistake that I made. It was not training with intent. What that means is I was not training to what I wanted to be training. You're not gonna go on a run and expect yourself to have lots of muscle on your body, right? And you're not gonna eat a lot of protein and rice and expect yourself to be good at running, right? And that's the main point that I'm trying to make, is the fact that I learned how to control what nutrition goes into my body based on what kind of training I'm doing, overall encompassing what my nutrition looks like, what my training looks like, what my recoveries look like. That's how I train now. That's why I pay attention to all the things that I'm putting in my body, and also what kind of training that I'm doing for the goals that I have. Like that run that I was on, I did 4 miles and I tried to do a nice faster pace. So it's for my marathon prep, which you've seen in a previous video. But now I'm on the post-Christmas cut, so I need to start paying attention to what I'm eating, start tracking meticulously, making sure I'm putting enough protein in my body to sustain the muscle that I do have while I'm on this cut, so I don't lose any. This entire bowl right here, it's a pretty decent amount of food. Is like 550 calories and like 60 grams of protein. Low calorie, high protein. Try to do low carb and low fat, but sometimes I go over on my fat and carbs, and sometimes I don't hit my protein goal. And that's okay. Fitness is not about being absolutely perfect unless you're literally a pro bodybuilder. I am not a pro. So back in the beginning of 2025, I entered a challenge, and I went from this to looking like this. It was a lot of hard work. It was 100 days total. I actually filmed that Omni Hotel video when I was doing that challenge. That challenge taught me a lot of things. It was like, you need to be locked in and on point, your nutrition and your training. And once you start getting lower in body weight, that's when your maintenance calories change up a little bit. And so now you need to drop your calories even more. And then you need to drop your calories even more. And then you need to drop them more. At the end of the challenge, I was sticking to about 1,500 calories. That was the most difficult part. I did that for about 2 weeks. My starting weight during that challenge was 232, I think. And then I ended at 204. So that's 28 pounds in 4 months almost. Yeah, it was one of the most difficult things that I've had to do in my life. Also, I've never actually been like I've never had abs. Never had abs ever in my life. Still don't. That's what the goal is this year. By this, I'm doing the typical bro thing, and I'm like, hey, let's get some abs by the end of this year, huh? Or by summer this year. And so that's what I'm gonna do. And now I'm at this point where I don't know what my maintenance calories is anymore because I'm a lower body weight. And so I'm pretty sure it's closer to 2,000 than 2,500, what it used to be when I was heavier, because now my body is adapted to my training. So I need to add some variety in my training, like running for a marathon. One thing that I'm adapting, and then I'm adding some new workouts and going a little bit heavier, because I was always focused on low weight, high rep, because I actually like repping out 12 reps, but now I just put some heavy weight on the bar and then rep it about 6 times. I play around with rep ranges. That's also another thing that I learned throughout this challenge. I'm getting a lot smarter when it comes to training, like exactly how I feel if I have 24 ounces less of water a day. I usually try and give myself like a gallon a day because water is super important. I also eat a fair amount of protein. Yeah, I don't know where I'm going with this. The moral of the story is I did it, and now I need to keep pushing, keep trying to better myself. I'm no longer in that dark headspace. I may have gained a little bit back since my mental health is a lot better. I no longer look in the mirror and I'm like, ugh. I'm no longer disgusted at what I see. With that, I'm gonna leave you guys with something that I say to myself every single day. Be focused, be patient, stay great. See ya.